Welcome back to Building on a Budget Models. Today we'll be unboxing this, the new Revell 1962 Shelby Cobra 289. It says here it's 125 scale, 125th scale, 119 parts and 6.1 centimeters in length. Product code is 07669. And it's described as a level 5, which is quite a tough one. You can see there the beautifully illustrated image on the front, Daytona Speedway, very nice. Anyway, let's have a look on the other sides. So, yeah, if we look on the back, just like many of these modern Revell kits, some images of different parts, engines, interior. It says on here, a very challenging model construction kit for the legendary sports car developed by Carroll Shelby. The Texan fell back thereby to the chassis of the AC Ace and installed a 275 brake horsepower 4.7 litre engine. It has a multi-part V8 engine, opening bonnet and authentic decal set. Over here, a little image with some of the parts. It says complex model kits for experienced model builders, in-depth know-how and skills required, not suitable for children under the age of 13. It says non-assembled plastic model kit, adhesive and paints not included, required for results similar to the images. Illustrated multilingual assembly instructions include extensive directions. And there you can see some of the paint colours in Revell codes that are recommended. Anyway, before we start, let's have a little bit of history of the car. Firstly, I think that Revell have released this car at this time due to the success of the film Ford vs Ferrari, known in some parts of Europe as Le Mans 66. A film which came out in late 2019 tells the story of the Ford company's aim to topple Ferrari at Le Mans, but in actual fact it's more of a biopic of the lives of Carroll Shelby and Ken Miles. I won't go into the story too much now, in case you haven't seen it yourself, but I do recommend it. Shelby was a talented race driver before he was an engineer, and actually won Le Mans driving the Aston Martin DBR1 with Englishman Roy Salvadori in 1959. Sadly though, not long after this, he had to give up racing due to the dangerous heart condition that he had. However, during his time in Europe, he loved the idea of putting a powerful American V8 into a small, lightweight European chassis. He spoke to AC Cars, who designed the AC Ace Bristol Roadster, and brought the chassis over to America and put in the large and powerful Ford V8. And thus, the Shelby Cobra was born. The 289 in the model name of this car represents the size of the engine in cubic inches. The FIA in the name signifies that it was designed to the Fédération Internationale des Automobiles race standards. It was driven by drivers such as Ken Miles to a lot of success. However, it had to be redesigned before they entered it into Le Mans as the Shelby Daytona Cobra. The reason I think that this is Ken Miles' car is because he was well known for driving in number 98. He was a British driver who fought in World War II and actually was local to me in the Midlands. He was born in Sutton Coldfield, which is now part of Birmingham. Anyway, let's get on with the unboxing. So we'll start off by looking at the instructions here. You can see this is a photo of the car as opposed to the illustration on the front. Sort of safety advice here as usual. Little slip as well. I like these colour instructions. I think much easier to avoid making mistakes with these. Required colours we've got here, and there has a little recommendation about mixing them. 99 aluminium, 302 black semi-gloss, 90 silver, 9 anthracite matte, 91 iron metallic, 7 black gloss, and then the mixture of semi-gloss black and dark grey semi-gloss, gold metallic, orange gloss, and yeah, quite a few more actually. Silk matte red, that's 303. That mixture there of anthracite and iron, wood brown, probably for the steering wheel I would have guessed, dusty grey matte, mixture of blue gloss and aluminium, I think that's supposed to be the bodywork, blue gloss, clear matte, orange clear, red clear, presumably for the lights. Here's some information about the sprues. Just this blacked out bit here isn't required, but then also on the other page, some more sprues. A lot of parts in this one. And here we see the instructions. You can see it starts off with the V8 engine here. Obviously a Ford V8 was in this car. And yeah, then it goes on to the structure of the chassis. It's got the suspension. This car does have metal axles, so I would guess that the wheels roll. Some reference to chrome parts here. We'll look at everything in a moment. I like this where it zooms in on some of the instructions. Obviously feel free to pause any of this to have a closer look. It is interesting how the metal axle actually is enclosed within these sort of pipe section. Yep. More instructions. It's got 2 seats, even though it's a race car. And continuing. And moving on. And on the back here you can see the intended design, paint codes, decal positions, things like that. We'll look at the decal sheet now. So quite a small decal sheet, printed in Italy by Cartograph, so very good quality, very crisp, nice shiny metallic in some of these. As you can see there, the 98, so it's probably Ken Miles' car. The stripe that goes across the bonnet, things to go on the engines, yeah, dials for the dash. There's only a few sponsors on this, as would be typical in the 1960s. Here there's sort of like chrome mesh that's supposed to go over the front of the lights. Yeah, so yeah, very nice. Now, before we get too much detail into these sprues, I'm going to show you something which interested me. As you can see on this sprue here, just try and get that to focus, it actually says 1/24th AC Cobra, which is strange because on the front of the box it says that it's 1/25th. Now, I don't know why that is. I don't have any other Cobras to compare this to. But maybe, and I have tried contacting Revell, not had anything back yet. But yeah, if any of you watching maybe know anything about this, maybe you could tell me. Anyway, this is this sprue with the largest parts. What's quite nice here is that it's got a bonnet, and it's actually got the little air intake there. It's cut out, boot as well, or hood and trunk for any American viewers. It's got the Cobra badge there moulded in, so if you use a bit of setting solution when you put the decal over, that will look nice in a bit of relief. 2 seats. This is the cover for the passenger seat, and it's got a bit of texture there, so it sort of gives us a sort of leather effect, which would be quite nice. I'm not entirely sure what this part is for, but I will find out. But there's some wiring moulded onto the other side. Here's the dash with some nice detailed little instrument panels there. I think this is to go on the back of the dash, maybe inside the bonnet, because there's some wiring. And here is the here's the kind of cockpit section. You can see on the other side the position for the gear stick, the seats, and that is the inside of the boot, the trunk. So yeah, but nicely moulded, it seems. I don't know whether this is a new tool or whether it's not, but yeah, I'd like to find out if possible. Okay, so this next sprue, again, just like the other one, says 1/24th AC Cobra on the side. There you can see the kind of ladder frame, and yeah, parts of the exhaust, suspension, kind of sections for the transmission. These look like seat belts, but I don't know if that's what they are. Let me see. 48. I'll check the instructions in a moment. Yeah, steering wheel. It's quite nice. Bit of detail on that. The backs of the wheels. Yeah, so I checked the instructions actually, and yeah, they are relief seat belts, and then you put the decals over the top of it. So I guess that's an alternative if you didn't want to use photo etch. But yeah, it's quite nice. It's interesting though, because I'm sure that it doesn't have that in the image on the box. If we have a look at that, yeah, you can see it here in this image. Those are just decals. So yeah, maybe they changed the design. It does say that that was the prototype model. Anyway, okay, so next sprue. This one is mainly engine parts. You can see there the block, sort of the belt, yeah, fan, disc brakes, yeah, but yeah, nicely moulded. I can see not too much in the way of flash, but yeah, looks very nice. Now this next one is quite interesting, because here are the chrome parts, quite nicely done, very shiny, but as well as that, here are the chrome parts without the chrome. Now I know from watching many kind of making videos that a lot of people do just strip the chrome and then apply their own, whether that be like, you know, Molotow or Alclad or something like that. So yeah, this is quite interesting. It just gives you the option to do that. For instance, looking at the box and some of the reference pictures, the exhausts, which you can see here, aren't quite that chrome. I would say that they're a bit more sort of matte or semi-matte than that. So it does give you the option here to use these as opposed to those. But yeah, it's interesting. I've not seen this before, where they've given you the same sprue twice. But yeah, it's a nice touch. Okay, next we've got the tyres and the metal axles. I won't take those out just because I don't want to lose them. But yeah, if we take the tyres out here, and slightly different size for the front and rear, but you can see on here that they have Goodyear and the dimensions moulded into it. There are Goodyear decals to go over the top of that. See, if you preferred, you could use a little bit of white paint for it, but yeah. Anyway, nice tyres. And finally, the bodywork itself. So as I said before, it has an open boot and a bonnet here. A few other sections where you can add things, the exhaust pipes. The moulding seems to be quite nice. Obviously it's got this cross in the middle which you'll remove for kind of a structure. Here's the front. I don't know whether you're supposed to open this vent. I suppose you could possibly do that, or whether you're supposed to fill it. A few mould lines on the front, but nothing too bad. And just like on the boot, the Cobra emblem there is raised, That'll look quite nice. Also, there are some little rivets here, which would be for the cover to go on. So that's quite nice. You could add a little bit of silver to that to make them pop out. But yeah, it's nice. I'm looking forward to building this. Yeah. Rather than using the mixture of blue gloss and aluminium, I'm going to be using this Tamiya spray paint for it. It's TS54, which is light metallic blue, which is recommended for use on the Tamiya Alpine kits, actually, but I think it will give a pretty good finish on this car. Anyway, so looking forward to building this. Let me know if you've got one of these, or if you think it is similar to other kits that you might have seen. As I said, we don't know if it's a new tool or not, but yeah, thanks for watching. Like, share, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.